Now I hit record.
We make it so difficult.
What's up, everybody? Welcome. Hawk versus Wolf, super special edition here. We are joined by Darby Allin.
Howdy.
And Jamie Hayter.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. This is pretty cool because you hit me up to skate, and then I kind of did a bait and switch for the podcast. Yeah, we can still skate. You can skate.
No, definitely. But yeah, I haven't skated in like 3 weeks because I was filming this intro video for the Seattle show, and I was trying this rail, and I got annihilated on it. So I've been waiting to skate for like 3 weeks. But
I'm so curious about that though, because
dude, it's so hard to balance out pro wrestling and skating because I've been skating way longer than I've been wrestling, but just wanting to skate all the time, but you're you get paid to wrestle, but your passion's in
That's what I was curious about, because I feel like I always hear from musicians and people who have to rely on their hands and whatnot, or I have race car drivers too who skate and they're under contract. They're like, you cannot skate. But you guys are getting beat up all the time. So I feel like, is that in the contract though? Like, you can't do anything else?
I wouldn't sign it if it was.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think you can kind of do whatever you want. It's kind of to your discretion if you get injured or not. If you do, then I don't know what to tell you.
It's crazy because the Tony Khan owns our wrestling company, and he also does the Jaguars as well. And it's talking about the NFL, how they, in their contracts, they can't do anything. So it's kind of crazy how Tony is more open with the wrestlers to kind of do whatever you want.
I knew a baseball player, well, not personally, but a real famous baseball player that was sponsored by, I think, Kawasaki or Honda, one of the two. And they were saying that it's an under-the-table deal because he's under contract not to ride a motorcycle, and he was getting free motorcycles.
So how could you not?
Yeah, it was the cat's out of the bag. You've got 8 free motorcycles.
And a sponsorship.
Pretty sure you're riding one of them. Yeah.
I worked with the NASCAR driver, Jimmy Johnson, a while back, and he told me that he went snowboarding on one of his breaks and fractured his wrist, but he couldn't tell anyone because he was under contract. And he had to have his homie that is in the pit crew start the car for him, keep it on the DL, hey, when we're about to go, reach in and start. I can't reach it.
Yeah.
I can't reach the starter. And then he goes to win a race.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That happened a week before, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Sting, the wrestler. He's one of the biggest.
You didn't know Sting?
I don't know Sting.
Wow, we're the worst wrestling.
We're not. I'm not the demographic. I apologize. I love what you guys do.
I know stuff. Then
I do see clips.
You're the wrestling guy.
Yeah,
I see clips of.
That's awesome.
I see clips of you, and I am amazed that you can just do that stuff and bounce back up.
Sting is a legend. He's been around forever. So you're familiar with this,
and the Undertaker and all that. I know.
So he paints his face, but he's 63 years old, and he's my tag partner right now, and he's crazy. So he took this crazy move back in 2014 where he's supposed to retire his neck and everything like that. But then fast forward, I talk him into returning, and then he's just but it's his first live match back in front of an audience. And a week earlier, I was filming some skating with Jaws down at the Gates of Hell in Phoenix, Arizona, and then that's the video I sent you where I went down it, but then hit the crack and then flew into the wall.
Oh yeah.
And then I thought I broke my wrist and my kneecap all at once, and I'm laying there in blood, and then I'm in a red anthill and shit. I was oh dude. And I went to Jaws' house.
Wait, a red anthill?
It was sitting at
actual red ants?
Yeah, it was sitting. I'm
they're biting him.
Into a red anthill.
Insult to injury. Or injury to injury.
Wow. So you had to get up no matter how much pain you're in.
Yeah, and then I was contemplating going to the hospital, but I told Jaws, I'm going to sit in your bathtub for 2 hours, and if I piss blood, I'll go to the hospital, but if I don't, I won't go.
Why the bath?
Because I was in such pain. I just felt
An ice bath or just a bath?
Just a hot bath, yeah.
Epsom salts, maybe?
No.
Just a hot bath.
I don't think
some
he
people
had
just
any,
take baths.
I was envisioning an empty bath for some reason. I was I just sat in the bath.
In the cold porcelain bathtub.
Just staring at your waiting to be blood.
But
I'm waiting for it to happen.
the thing was, it was a week before he made his big return on pay-per-view, and the whole week I was like limping my knee. I was like icing like crazy, and I didn't know how to tell anybody that I flew into a wall skateboarding because they're like, it was on a pay-per-view. It was like so much riding on this match. So I showed up and I told everyone, I was training, and then I smashed my knee, and then they're like, dude, you're really messed up.
Yeah.
But like, I like low key like told Sting behind the scenes. He's like, what really happened to you? Because he knows that like I'm crazy outside the ring and do all this shit. And then I showed him the video and he started laughing. But that was pretty stressful. But
do you have to watch it working with him at 62? Like, do we have to baby him, but obviously not make it
You
look
just see
like
the stuff he does. It's insane.
it's insane. Yeah, like he literally jumps off like 15-foot balconies through tables. It's crazy.
Yeah.
He has like something to prove. People think I'm the bad influence on him. Like, yo, Sting jumping, but he's going up to people. Like,
But he's coming out of retirement, so to speak,
Yes.
to join you. Was he doing anything active in those?
Yeah.
In those
No.
Is he like a
other
yoga
years?
guy or was he a
No.
beer drinking guy?
No, he's not. He's not a beer drinking guy, and he's definitely not a yoga guy. He just kind of like, I don't know what. He just kind of like laid low and just walked on a treadmill
But
for.
stayed fit.
He did, yeah.
Because 62 to jump like and fall from like 10 feet to the ground. I don't care how spongy the ground is. That's gonna wreck you.
Well, I was watching your documentary again, probably like 5 days ago, and towards the end when they're talking about like, why is he still like, how is he still in this? Like, what's he trying to prove? And that's what the same people ask about Sting. So I was like, man, you guys got to have a conversation.
Yeah, because he's got some years on me.
I was gonna say I thought wrestling because you're not wrestling is I'm slamming on purpose. Sure, I'm doing it in a way that like I take less of the impact than it looks like, but you're still for sure slamming hundreds of times every time you do it.
Yeah.
In skateboarding, I was gonna say like we don't slam that often, so it's not as bad, but every time I come here, it's even if it's a little one, so I'm kind of sore, but I just felt like when you get to your 50s and 60s and you wrestle, he's not on the circuit, right? Like he's not every weekend.
No. But
It's just a one-off thing. Then he gets to heal.
Yeah.
And then if he wants to come back, he can.
it was crazy.
Pretty much.
Middle of the match in Arthur Ashe, it's like 20,000 people there in New York. Like in the middle of the match, like his knee dislocates. And I just hear him screaming, and he's trying to put it like back in place, and it's like locked up. And
Did
then
you see it?
no, because he has like all these like long pants on and stuff. So I was just like, but it was insane, like how he just finished the match. Like I was like, holy crap, this is.
So he
insane.
has multiple.
That was in his 60s?
That was last
Like
month, like 2
recently,
months
yeah.
ago. He was 63 years old. It was insane.
just
He's a
in his
badass.
knees?
So he has multiple injuries.
Yeah.
Like, and didn't fix them because you're saying his knee. If your knee comes out and you put it back in, you keep going. It's a thing that has happened before. Like you've got loose knees, right? Like his knees are shot, I believe.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. No.
But he jumps off the top rope with completely blown out 62-year-old knees.
yeah. It's like.
It makes me, that is inspirational because I keep thinking.
Well, that's what I was.
I didn't think we'd make it to 50. And I'm like, I could probably go a little bit longer. And
You
I'm
definitely
like,
could.
I don't know about 60
I
though.
don't know if this is an appropriate question, but how can you differentiate between a legitimate painful scream or like a
Yeah, good
scream
question.
of
Sting don't
anger?
scream.
He
So
doesn't
when
scream.
I
There
heard
you
it,
go.
ah, and I was like, holy shit, this is
Oh,
for real.
wow.
I just think as a wrestler, you just know.
Like shit just got real.
Yeah, you're not
in a
like
way.
selling a move or anything. You feel like, like
Right.
the timbre in your voice
Yeah.
and like your face. You can just tell when someone's legitimately hurt.
When did you know you wanted to do it?
When I was about 4 years old, when I first
Really?
started watching professional wrestling, yeah, I was like, I want to be a stunt woman or a professional wrestler. So then I just did this.
Where'd you grow up?
Southampton in the UK. There was like 2 wrestling schools, weirdly enough, like 40 minutes away from my house. So
Oh,
when I
wow.
was like 19, nearly 20, that's when I first started training. Saved up a bunch of money. I decided to go. And the 2 schools were rival schools. So I went to one and then that closed down and then I went to the other one.
So did you come over here for wrestling or did you?
Yes, I came over here about a year. Is it a year, 2 years ago now? Because I got signed to AEW. So before that, I was
How do
just
you get
stuck in the-
signed to AEW when you're in England? How's that work?
So
You're on the circuit there or something?
I actually was living in Japan at the time. So I lived in wrestling full time. I lived in Japan for 2 years. And in 2000...
Do you have anybody who's like English speaking with you?
So when you're in Japan, you'd have like other foreigners there. But a lot of the time, they would go because they'd stay for like 3 months for like a tour or something.
They give you like an apartment or something?
Yeah, they had an apartment.
With other wrestlers or just...
Yes, other wrestlers, yeah. So we all the foreigners would live together in an apartment, and then we'd go to the dojo, and then we'd go to the shows and travel all over Japan and wrestle.
Was that a good gig? I feel like there's baseball players that make a living doing that.
It was amazing.
Really?
It was so good. Japan's an incredible country, especially to live in. It's just the culture's
But
great.
I mean, you're living there, like you're getting wages there.
Yeah.
And is the cost of living, is it difficult?
So it was kind of easy because Stardom, the company I worked for, they owned the apartment that we stayed at.
okay.
So you didn't have to pay rent or anything like that.
Nice.
They would like cover you of that. So
What
essentially
about
any of
food?
the money you made, you could just spend on yourself and your food. The food's very cheap. I would live off 7-Eleven food a lot of the time.
I love 7-Eleven in
Me
Japan.
too. But
I love it.
because you can just get
obviously
the
different?
rolls. It's
Yeah,
insane.
yeah.
The food's so good.
That's
And it's very cheap.
I bought a strawberry sandwich at 7-Eleven.
They're so good, aren't
They're
they?
so good.
They have all kinds
do
of
you do that?
Sliced strawberry in between white bread.
Yeah. With
Prepackaged.
cream in the middle.
With cream. Yeah, it's insane.
Wow.
Called a cream sando.
I knew a guy once that he ordered pizza from 7-Eleven on Postmates. And I was like, you might be the most legendary person I ever met, but that was American 7-Eleven pizza.
If you ever
No,
go
and
to
they have those
Japan-
rice triangles
Yes.
with the meat inside.
Oh,
The
wow.
onigiri
Wait,
and
it's
stuff.
not bad?
No, it's
No, it's
so
good.
good.
Yeah,
delicious.
and travel hack. Anyone that goes to Japan, 7-Eleven has ATMs that work
Yes, with any card.
with any card. Yeah, because you go to a bank and it just won't. They won't connect to your network or whatever. But 7-Eleven
what?
always.
Yeah.
So
You can always
Fun
count.
travel tip.
7-Eleven's the lifesaver when you're in Japan.
Whenever I eat sushi from 7-Eleven in the States, I think I'm gonna shit my
Wait,
pants.
you
early.
do that?
my son,
Yeah, I saw it for like, it was like
hell is
$6.
wrong with
my
you?
oldest son Riley
Tough.
used to love 7-Eleven sushi when he was a kid. Like he would go out of his way.
Did he ever
would
get
go to
food poisoning
7-Eleven.
from it?
He didn't care. I think he got sick once and then
It's so
stopped.
gnarly looking.
But it was
It's like the
I was like-
condensation is all. It's all.
It's all like wet and
Yeah,
soggy.
dude.
Yeah, but like
Tough
he would
times.
make his way from school to get to a 7-Eleven for lunch, and I was
That's
like,
insane.
That's rough.
Why are you doing that?
It's so disgusting.
Okay, so you guys got these belts for being champions. Do you get to keep them? Or do you
Yes.
have to-
I go
They don't
with-
get passed on. They don't
when,
get passed on.
when you lose them,
Nah.
when you lose them, you have to give them away.
Oh, wait, you do?
Yeah.
You
That's
could be
what
a
I'm
dick
saying,
and
right,
keep
so
it.
In the
Yeah.
UFC,
Yeah.
if you lose your belt, you keep the one you won.
No, not no.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
So these
that.
are on loan, so to speak.
Essentially, but you could
Yeah.
be a dick and just keep it for yourself if you really wanted to.
Yeah, if you had like a power trip.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's one, like, you know, when I have this, I want to try to like show it off as much like cool ways as possible. Like when you did like the 540 or
Dude, that was okay. So yeah, when you came here the first time, you let me wear this, and I was skating, and I did a 540. It was probably the most challenging 540 I've ever done on this vert ramp.
yeah, I was watching it and then
Like it
I was like,
changed my balance point, and I kept thinking I was gonna like fall
Oh,
forward.
man.
It was scary. That was
They are
crazy.
heavy bit of kit.
Yes.
Like they're very.
Yes.
You wouldn't think it. They kind of you feel like they're just gonna be almost like a toy belt or something, but they're.
I make belts I have like a comedy boxing event every year. You guys should come. It's in
Comedy
Vegas.
boxing.
Yeah, like I have people blindfolded with like dog collars on their necks.
No
all
way.
fighting each other at the same time.
That
Sounds
sounds so fun. I want to
yeah.
come.
and
sounds
then-
like the Castle.
the what?
The Castle, that goth club in LA.
There's a goth club in LA that has boxing where people are blindfolded with electric dog collars.
No, but they have the
So I
dog
didn't
collars.
sign off on that.
No, they have dog
Copyright.
collars.
Aesthetics are similar.
And there's a lot of things you can do with dog collars. Not put them on f***ing dogs, though, I'll tell you that. Wear one, electrocute yourself, and then put it on your puppy. You cannot put it on.
Yeah, no.
You got a little puppy brain, and it goes, "Ugh." You don't even know why.
Yeah, why would you
You're just like, oh, this is it. I'm going to die. Like, this is the end for sure. Because all of a sudden, lightning is going through my face. They don't know why it's going off. Like, at least we know that it's a collar.
Yeah.
So mean. I can't believe they
No,
have
I was
that.
thinking the same thing because I was wearing one like when we were filming the pilot for my TV show, and we were trying to do some like skating with the shot collar and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I was like, this is impossible. Like I couldn't even imagine putting that on a dog.
Yeah, I've done so
Crazy.
many things with a dog collar. It's ridiculous. Pictionary, you name it.
You're the expert.
Karaoke, yeah. Well, once I figured it out.
You're saying dog collar, you mean shock collar.
Shock collar,
Yeah.
Yeah, once I got one and was like, wait a minute. You can do a lot
Yeah.
of funny stuff with
You
this.
should have brought one today.
No.
We could have.
No, it's kind of like
Test it
certain
out.
tricks that I do on vert. I'm not doing anymore,
You ever
and I'm not
drop
doing
in on
dog
the
collar.
You ever drop it
anymore.
on the vert with the shock collar on?
Oh, my
No.
God,
Has anybody
dude.
done that yet here?
What?
It's all yours.
Yeah, you can do
It's
it.
all
That's a
yours.
great idea.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Hey, let's get one of our assistants to get a dog collar.
Shock collar.
I'm joking. There's only so far I can go with that joke. You're not actually going to do shit.
I know, we're turning into a jackass.
Yeah, I got a belt, though. I got the fastest professional skateboarder in motocross. I made a belt, and there was like a bunch of dudes that were racing that were pro skateboarders, and I won. So I just kept the belt that I got made for myself. I would have given it to them,
Yeah.
but I feel like I would lose that belt now, but I don't race anymore, so too bad. I remain the champ.
Yes.
And I'm not giving the fucking belt over.
You shouldn't.
I don't
It's
know. I
yours
don't
now.
think you guys should give your belt back.
I don't want to
I
get
mean,
in
you work
trouble.
hard for that belt. You're taking a lot of slams. Some of those slams will have permanent injuries to them, and you have to walk around with those for the rest of your life. So you should be walking around
this
with
is
that
my
for the rest of your
payment.
life. I would not give that back.
You ever do anything for Nitro Circus? Like you ever done their like live show?
Oh, no, I'm good friends with Travis, but I've only gone to witness it.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a different. I was kind of really in the radio when he started Nitro Circus. So when he had the little mega ramp looking thing with the resi mat, that's what I wanted, that resi mat, because
Yeah.
you can get away with murder on that thing.
Oh yeah.
Did you go to, I went to the first one.
Vegas? Because I went to the one in Utah.
It was in Vegas.
Okay.
You're talking about Nitro Games. No, you're talking about Nitro Games. Nitro Circus.
Oh, okay.
The actual like tour that
Yeah,
they did.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Where they
saw
were
it.
jumping the Barbie car and stuff. So we went to the very first one. You guys like the story. And I brought my son, one of my sons, who was probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 at the time, and his buddy that was the same age. So I was like, oh, they're going to love this, right? And right in the middle of the show, Travis in full pad, no, Travis, yeah, in his pads, in his motocross gear, and Lindsay in her skate pads, he proposes to her.
Aw.
Like during the live show.
Yeah, I saw that video.
He's just like, I can't wait any longer. I want to do this. And which was super cool. So we're done. The show ends and we're walking away. And I asked Keegan and his buddy Cooper, like, hey, what did you guys think of the show? Cooper was like, it was cool, but that wedding thing was weird. And then he goes, do they do that every time?
That's so funny. Yeah, I did some dates for Nitro Circus this last recent tour, and I pitched to Pastron. I was like, hey, can I be on the show? And he's like, absolutely. Like, what do you want to do? And I was trying to think of something. I was like, yo, can you just like put me on a longboard, duct taped in a body bag, and I zip up and go off the jump through the mini mega? And he's like, absolutely not. Like, there's no way we're gonna allow you to do that. Like, it's too dangerous. And I was like, too dangerous. And so I had to think, and I was like, well, what can I do? And they're like, you can backflip the big wheel, that tricycle, and like,
That's safer.
Because that's not dangerous. Yeah.
But I ended up.
I mean,
like,
I see his angle. If you're blindfolded on a longboard and
You might go
any
off
way,
kilter.
Yeah.
you're not
What
going
happened-
off the ramp. You're just going into a wall.
Well,
and
yeah.
then you would die. So that's probably a good idea.
Well, what happened is when I went down the tricycle, because it was like a 40-foot rolling and it was like a 40-foot gap, and I was like, man, this is like huge. And as I went in, I like it was crazy how like wide, how it wasn't wide at all, like how small the rolling was, like width-wise. And I ended up flying off the side anyways on the tricycle.
You didn't make it over the gap. You went off the rolling,
Yeah, I went off the rolling
off
and
the
then
side of it.
No, by the time I went to go hit the jump, I went off the side of it, the jump,
Yeah.
and then I flew into the wall anyways. And I was like, I could have been in a body, but it was cool because like that was like a live show, and then
You mean you hit because they have all the padding on the backside of the ramp.
Yeah,
You
hit
hit
that.
You missed the kicker.
yeah, well, yeah, flew off right at the end of the kicker, but then I hit the padding, but then I flew into the grass and but then I was like, I gotta go. It was weird because they're like, all right, you want to try it again? And I was like,
Wait,
dude,
they said, would you want to try it again?
Why
If
not?
I watched the dude go off before the kicker, I'm like, you're good.
but then
Just take a
You
seat.
tried.
Yeah.
But it was like during the live show, so I was like, I might as well. And then I did it, and I actually like backflipped, and I landed the 40-foot gap. I landed it. And I was
Yeah.
like, holy shit. Like, it was crazy. So that's when I wanted.
Was that
to,
your
like,
first backflip on a vehicle?
Yeah. It was. It was crazy. Like then I hit up like Travis because like I wanted to like, try to step it up, and I want to do it at like Burnquist Mega Ramp.
Yeah.
I want to really try to backflip the tricycle like he did for Nitro Circus way back like 2010 or something. But like I really like, I was like, shit, I could do it if I did 40-foot gap, and it's like Bob's is like what 70.
Oh, he's got two.
Nah, you don't
He's
do
got
the
two
big gap,
sizes.
dude.
So
I want to try it. Like so I want to step it up with the big wheel tricycle backflip.
Wow.
Why?
But I don't know because I feel like I don't know. Like I'm more like I
You
don't
think that'll make a name for yourself for that one?
No, it's
What's the plan there?
it's
it's
just
for his own content.
yeah. It's for myself.
Oh, just for a video.
No, yeah, just for myself.
But you already have the video of you doing one at the thing, though, right?
I just want to go as big as possible about it.
I don't think
It's
Bob's
different.
would be that much bigger than the one
Bob's
you did.
got no resi landing.
Yeah,
So
Bob's
if you don't do it right
yeah.
there, it's
Bob
different.
Bob
Yeah.
has a net.
Yeah,
and you have to
that
not hit the quarter
there's no
pipe.
way you would trust that net for anything.
Wait,
It's just there for
wait,
show.
there's a net for what?
There's a net in his gap.
Oh,
That is
also if you don't
just
make it,
crusty.
if you don't
and-
make it in there,
like if you blow on the net, it's gonna explode.
right? It's been there since when he built it.
Yeah,
no, like the big
I
thing
think it's just for decoration.
Has it ever been used?
has someone found
Only
it?
Yeah.
one
I
person.
think one time. Yeah.
More than one person has fallen into the gap.
I said one time.
Okay, right. Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
there's one that's on video and it's not good. It's
No.
real bad. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
You wouldn't if you want to jump the gap. Don't watch that video.
I'll watch the video because I'm definitely not.
Yeah.
Gonna do
Oh,
that.
you will enjoy it then. Yes.
yeah.
What he told me that you skated.
When I
or-
was a child,
Yeah.
yes. Not anymore. But, well, I cruise now. I'm slowly but surely trying to like get back into it, but I'm so like unconfident, and especially with like wrestling, I get so scared about injuring myself,
Right,
and not being
that's
able
what I
to
was gonna
like,
ask, yeah.
wrestle. But yeah, so
Actually, I forgot how tall was that ramp you dropped in?
it was
on?
like I
It
don't have
looked
my
like a s-
phone. It was
like
like
a
6
7
foot,
6 or
6 or
something.
7 foot. Yeah. So
I was like, yeah, it's-
where I grew up, there was a random field with a tiny skate park in it. And it was
Okay.
called Glebe Meadow. And it was like 10 minutes from my house. Me and my friends would go and skate there. And they had this big 6-foot ramp, a tiny little like half pipe, and a rail. And that's all they had. And then people would just go there, hang out.
Outdoors.
Yes, outdoors. But the thing with the UK as well, it always rains. So it was
Yes.
a lot of the time it was very wet, or there was like people would throw stones on the ramps and stuff. So
There was where was that skate park? That was Northampton or Southampton? Sorry.
The one under
to
the
everyone
bridge?
in UK. No, the one that was indoors where they had all the events.
I don't know. I got brain damage.
They had in the
Don't we
mid
all?
'90s, like early
well,
'90s.
no, apparently.
They had vert, mini, and street all. It was like the only event happening in the UK at the time. And Tom Penny had his. Anyway, I digress. Sorry, I don't remember which city
Oh,
it was
you're
in.
fine.
It was probably before your time anyway.
Do you guys party like in the wrestling movie, like where you all meet and you bro down and do like some manly handshakes, talk about how you're gonna slam each other, and then go to the bar and party?
I'm straight edge, so I don't do. I don't take pain pills or nothing. I just
Is that weird in the wrestling community?
what straight edge?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think it is so much now.
Maybe in Sting's like heyday.
That's what I'm saying, because I
was,
knew
like,
there was a
pretty-
time where it seemed
yeah,
like
yeah.
everybody was.
That was the
all I
thing.
heard was like Hulk Hogan once had a mountain of something on the table, and I'm like, wow,
yeah.
you guys really must have gone hard. But
Yeah, pain
is
bills
it-
and stuff.
Is it like that now? Or
I
is
don't
it
know.
not?
I literally do my own thing. I disappear. Like after the show, I'll just go disappear. I don't.
You're
really,
not in
Do
the
you-
wrestling. You don't bro down,
I don't bro down.
but you still get a job to do it. You don't have to.
You don't have to
Yeah.
kiss ass.
That's
or,
good to know.
yeah,
You don't have
it's
to sit
cool.
at the bar and talk, or you don't have to
Yeah,
do
But I
anything
mean
you
that
don't want to do.
that speaks to your longevity too.
Absolutely.
That you're approaching it more as a job and a discipline.
Yeah.
Right.
It's fun, of course.
Is everybody doing what Tony just said? Like, are the new generation of wrestlers going, well, look, I know Hulk Hogan was awesome, but he doesn't look like he's walking too good now. Maybe I won't rage. I will like stretch and all this other stuff that you should do.
I think it just depends on the person. But I think it's more so now people are like
Okay.
taking it very seriously, and they really
Yeah,
see
you
it as
actually
like
do have a generation
Yeah.
to look to that's like, all right,
Yeah.
this is how it can
for
go.
sure.
Yeah, there's documentaries on half of them and how mangled they are and how,
Yeah.
like, what is it, Diamond Dallas Page trying to bring back Jake the Snake, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's like not Jake the Snake, there's like a bunch of them that are like,
Yeah.
I've been drinking beer and chewing painkillers for the last 20 years. And it's pretty hard to want to walk, you know? I can't keep up with how many dudes
I go
are
to
saying
Dallas's
that.
house and do yoga because he's crazy with the physical therapy. And I've been doing yoga with like Jake and stuff. It's cool to see people like
That dude's
bounce
awesome,
back.
full of beans. He's been on my show a few times, always an exciting guy, very inspirational because he's old and mangled. And like, my back's been broken 75 times. I just do yoga now. It's excellent. Watch me grab my foot and put it around the back of my ass.
It's pretty much it.
Straight away, dude. Within 10 seconds, he's got the back of he's got his foot up again. He loves doing it.
And I think he's 66 now.
Yeah, I'm 66 with 17 fractures in my spine. Then he grabs his foot, puts it up on his head.
But every time I go to his
Check
house,
it out. Look at that.
every time I go to his house, he's like making me like battle him in these like competitions. He's like, "You gonna get
Yoga
beat-"
competitions.
Yeah, and he's like, you gonna get beat by a 66-year-old, and I'm like, "Fuck, I can't do that."
It'd be fun to live with.
Who were you guys looking up to growing up, wanting to be wrestlers?
I didn't look up to any wrestlers, to be honest. It was
Man.
just skateboarding.
What an insult.
And no,
To wrestlers, I don't care.
nah, yeah, I don't care. But it was like skateboarding and just like punk rock music and stuff like that. That's like the people. But like I loved
Hence the moniker Darby Crest.
Darby
Allin, sorry.
Yeah, but
Darby Allin, Gigi Allen.
Darby Crest would be a cool name though. But the thing is like I don't know. I would like love wrestling growing up like her. I was like when I was 4, I was like, man, I'm gonna do this. But by the time I got older, from my size of like being like smaller guy, I was like, man, there's no way I'm gonna like take steroids and do all this. And then times kind of changed with wrestling with the smaller guys, but it was cool because I wanted to do it, but I just never. So I just started like skateboarding all the time, and I was like, I'm never going to do wrestling. But then I remember I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna try it when I was 21, and then worked out rather quickly. Just because I think setting myself apart of being like this crazy like skateboarding stuntman, no one's ever seen that in the wrestling world. So it definitely like put me in a whole different category. But yeah, that's
What was the break?
honestly, I don't even. It's probably the same time I got signed to AEW. Like was when the break happened because that's like national TV.
It's not like indie shows or
Yeah.
anything like that. So.
It was, yeah, like that was the break, and then all of a sudden it's like I think that's probably when you first saw me. Like when I jumped on somebody with a thumbtack covered
Yeah.
skateboard.
Oh my
I like
God.
super glued a bunch of thumbtacks to the bottom of my board and like jumped on someone's back with it and just ripped their back up and all that shit. And I was like, man, like this is a whole new like level like people can see, and it. I don't know. It's crazy how much people come up to me and like, yo, I started skateboarding because of you. And I was like, oh, it's crazy.
Oh,
like,
that's awesome.
you know, like Benny Magliano, the filmer for Alien. Back in the day, he was
Okay.
Alien. Now he does fucking awesome. He like I think
Oh, yeah.
I think it was his nephew or something. He's like, I forgot who it was, but it was like someone younger that's related to him. He's like, dude, I tried to have him skate forever and he never would, but he saw you and now he's skating. And I was like, it's cool how like. I don't know, because like to me, like I still feel like it's weird to say, but I still feel like skateboarding is my number 1 passion and wrestling is number 2, even though I get paid for it. It's crazy. I don't know.
I get that.
But yeah, because I remember the first year in wrestling, I quit skateboarding because I was like, all right, this is what you have to do. You can't afford to get hurt. You have to. And I was so depressed and I didn't know why. I was like, why am I so depressed? And then I picked up the board again. I was like, this is why. So when I told you earlier, there's no contract people could pay me money-wise to quit skateboarding because I was like, it's like my mind would just go insane. That's why I built this like huge park in the backyard, my backyard, the skate park and stuff.
Is that that mini ramp I saw?
Well, yeah, it's like a mini, and then there's like we built a roll-in from the kitchen, and then like a huge like
Crazy.
pump track and like quarter pipes, and I was like, so.
What did I just see you do? It's like was it a boneless 270 to axle stall? Or
I think, yeah, something like, yeah, but I just posted a new line today there that we were doing, I don't know, it's just, I skateboard like as much as I can, like I try to skate like as all the time, but it's like, I don't know, I can't stop.
I guess it's kind of good because they
We-
both intertwine quite well.
yeah, you got to have a balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, yeah.
Are
You
you
ever
doing
roll in-
any extracurricular activities?
Not really. Not at the moment. I'm very like, I guess, tunnel vision with like wrestling at the moment. Just trying to be the best I can be, training, working out in the gym. Especially now that I have the belt and I've been at AEW for a year. I guess because I've not been here as long as a lot of people and the start of the company. I just want to try and prove myself more in terms of like wrestling and like
Good idea.
Yeah.
try and get to the level I want to be at. And then I might be like, okay, now I can do other stuff.
Would you do movies and all that stuff?
Oh, absolutely. I do pretty much anything. I'm open to any extracurricular activity. I just want to try and take life by the balls and do everything I can.
Right.
Especially now I'm in America. Because there's so many opportunities,
There's so many
much
balls
stuff to
here.
do. Yeah, that you can grab.
Yeah.
Figuratively and literally.
Yeah.
What's been the most, I guess, surprising, or shocking injury that you guys have encountered or suffered in the ring?
So mine would be when I broke both my elbows.
Nice.
And I had to have shoulder to wrist cast. And I was like stuck like this.
I've had that.
It was
Did you break them at the same time?
at the same time. It was in
Holy
a match.
shit.
So it was at an indie show in my hometown.
Going to the bathroom is awesome, right?
It's an experience. I remember when it happened, and I stayed at my mum's, and she came home.
Yeah, you had a
she came in
mum.
my room, and she was like, "Do you need help with anything?" I was like, "Mum, you're not wiping my ass. I'm gonna do it myself. Like, please, I don't need help. I don't want your help. Like, thank you, but no."
Yeah.
Was it a stunt or something that you knew could go wrong
Yeah.
in
But
that moment?
I honestly didn't think it would, because I did a move to the outside, a crossbody, and the floor was concrete, which maybe I shouldn't have done that. It was just in like some bar. There was a ring in a bar. It was a very small venue.
Why was the ground concrete?
I don't
Dude,
know.
these
Oh, out of the ring.
Yeah, out of the ring.
No,
okay.
But like, there's so much cheap on the independent scene that won't pay for any like extra protection for the wrestlers. The rings are like falling apart.
Yeah.
It's gnarly. It's very gnarly. So that's why.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like doing those things on concrete, there's no faking that.
No. So
That
I
just
just kind
hurts.
of jumped. And before I was like, you got me, right? And she was like, yeah, I'll catch you before the match.
Okay.
So, of course, I trust anybody that I step into a ring with. So I climb up, I jump off, and I almost like am looking back because I see her just like watching me jump,
Oh, damn.
grab my legs, and it was almost like a,
Scorpion?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I landed like this. I finished the match. I did a
What do you
moonsault.
mean you finished the match?
I did a moonsault in the match, like not too long after
With
I did
broken
that.
elbows.
Yeah. And then I wrestled, picked up, like did a moonsault.
Wait, how
won,
did your
yeah.
arms work?
Okay, so after the match, I went back to the locker room and my arms started locking up like this.
The adrenaline was
And
gone.
I was like, I feel a bit bad. I don't feel right. And tears
Were you
started going.
nauseous?
No, I just felt intense pain. And I was like, I can't take my wrestling gear off. And I was like stuck. I was like stiff. So I had to get help to take my gear off. And then my friend gave me a ride home. And then I went to my mum's because it was Mother's Day. And then I rang the doorbell at my mum's house and I was like, I think I need to go to the hospital. It was so painful. Went up to the hospital, got loads of painkillers. We were waiting for a good 4 hours. And then they come over to me and they're like, so we're going to cast up both your arms? And I was like, pardon? They're like, yeah. So you need a shoulder to wrist casts. And I was like, what? So we went into this room and I was like crying because I was like, oh no, I can't wrestle. Like, this is it. I'm going to be out for so long. And then I only had to have them on for 4 weeks. And then I was back in the gym 2 months later.
Wow.
Yeah. It was actually because the break was somewhere inside my elbow. It wasn't
Both the same?
Both the same. The exact same, which was crazy.
Well, at least you know that you land evenly.
Yeah, right? I'm a professional.
Yes.
So yeah, that was probably my worst ever injury.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Have you ever accidentally hurt somebody pretty bad while you're working with them?
Yeah, I actually recently.
You're not supposed to smile like that when you
I
tell
know,
the story.
but I feel so bad
Yeah,
about
no, you
it.
can totally tell.
She sits behind the belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who I won. Actually won it from the girl that I
Oh, there
broke
it
her
is.
orbital bone
In the match?
in the match. And there's pictures of us and we're both covered
That's
in blood.
not cool.
And I didn't mean to.
I know, but would you misjudged it and
Yeah.
you're supposed to get close, but instead
we were
you kicked her?
holding each other's hands. And
Yeah.
we were forearming each other.
Oh.
And one of them was just slightly missed. And then
Yeah.
I did it and Tony,
I mean,
I love you, Tony, but she immediately goes like this. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And she was
Wait,
like,
you
"It's
said
fine."
that?
Yeah.
You whispered or something?
Yeah, but you can hear each other when you're that close.
When you elbow people, you elbow them, you do hit them, right?
absolutely
Elbow me in the head?
what right now?
Yeah. Like a wrestling one.
Stand up.
That's what I was telling you about. I was like, we got to have Jason
Yes.
take some moves.
Oh yeah, I didn't tell him because I wanted to be a surprise.
So,
Gotta get this.
oh yeah,
This
sure.
this might have been
Get it
pre-planned.
good. Get it good.
Okay, so.
Oh, I thought you were gonna hit me in the head.
No, it's here. Here, you can't hit people in the head.
Why not?
Because then you'll actually injure them.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought. No, if you hit your elbow bone,
So if-
yeah.
yeah.
But if I give you just a wide impact one,
You can't, not in the chin. You'll knock
Right.
someone out.
right?
So you have to like elbow them like.
Do you want it in the
It's so
chin right now?
Yeah, do you want it in the face?
Yes.
You do it so fast.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
Come on. Chop him or some.
Do you need to chop you?
What's it? Yeah.
You just lift up your
shot.
shirt. you lift up your shirt and she chops your chest. This is like a signature move that everyone does.
Oh,
That was a
dude,
good
that
one.
was so loud.
That was a good one.
That was a good
That
one.
was awesome. Thank you.
You ever have this middle of a match where you kind of get knocked out
Yes.
and you have to finish it?
Yeah,
It's crazy.
that's happened a bunch of times. Because you're like, oh, you kind of like lose yourself for a second. You're like, oh no, I know where I am.
Like someone's hit you in the head and
Yeah.
you go you're not out, but you're definitely like
You're a bit like
concussed.
dazed, yeah. Or like I've had it where because I wear contact lenses when I wrestle. I've had it when I took one contact lens has come out and I'm like half blind.
Oh,
and like
no.
everything's like blurry and I'm like, oh my God. Or like both of them have come out before and I'm like incredibly hard of sight without them in.
But you got to keep going.
You have to, yeah. I can see like a blur if it ever happens. So it's like I can see
Yeah,
them,
like
but I just
that.
can't see anything else.
Well, you don't need to see the crowd.
No,
That's
you
it,
don't.
man.
You really don't.
Just kick the chick in the
Sometimes
face.
it's kind of nice to not see them because you're not as nervous of
Have you ever
performing.
missed time something on purpose because you don't like the person?
Never.
No.
Never. Because then you look bad
How?
as well. So like it kind of like if you do something on purpose like that, it almost ruins
Yeah, it
the
makes-
match because then it's like, oh,
Right.
they don't know what they're doing. That was
But
a
also,
botch.
wouldn't you be ostracized after that? Or
Probably.
Has anyone ever been angry when you accidentally hurt them? Like after the match, you're like, what the f***? You kicked me in the fucking
Not,
head.
I mean, not to my face. So I don't know if anyone's ever been truly like, oh, what a bitch, she hurt me. But I've not injured
Have you
really that many people.
Like the
One or
lady that
two.
you took the belt off and,
Yeah.
and you broke her orbital.
Yeah.
Did she say, obviously you didn't mean it, but you broke my orbital? No
She didn't know
worries?
until later. Yeah, she was kind of like, oh, it's cool, don't worry about it. She had 2 black eyes. And she was like, actually kind
a
of made
good
the
look.
match a lot better. It was more intense and I look badass now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like that. I'm like pretty chill if someone hurts me like on accident. Like my worst injury was like something to my elbow too. This guy had a shovel and hit me in the elbow and it broke my elbow. And then I finished the match. We had like 10 minutes left and we had so much crazy stuff after that where like they like put me in a body bag and dumped a bunch of thumbtacks in it and like
Yeah.
zipped it up and body slammed me in it. And like the whole time, like my elbow was broke. And then like I get to the back and I'm like, I'm gonna have to go to the hospital right now. And he's like, and I was like, it's chill, dude. That was fun. But like that was, because I think for most part, it's an accident. People don't,
yeah, they didn't
I don't think
mean to
people
do it.
try to go out there and fuck
Yeah,
each
so
other
Wait,
up.
you
always
said I
can't be
broke my
angry.
elbow and he said it was chill, bro. That was fun.
No, that's what I said to him.
Oh.
Because he was all
it's
panicked.
chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck at the hospital.
Yeah, I'd be like,
we're
"That's
good.
not- it's not that chill.
He was like really, he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, Darby. I'm so sorry. And I was like,
I
dude,
mean,
it's
how
chill.
do you accidentally hit somebody in the shovel in a bad way?
But the thing is, like, he swung the shovel and I was supposed to like take it by the face and put my hand up.
Oh.
But as I put my hand up like that, it just like, and just
Okay.
like, and I just felt it break instantly. And you could see my bone hanging out the whole match.
Yeah.
And I was
my
just like,
God.
and that was in front of like 100 people. That was like a shit show.
Mine was in front of like maybe 50.
Yeah. But
Wow.
it's crazy. But at our, like, where we are now with AEW, if my elbow popped, they would stop the match. They're like, there's no way. They're so on professional.
Has that ever happened?
It has
Where
with other
someone's
people.
been so injured,
Yeah.
just like, hey,
Yeah.
no more,
They
like,
just have to,
Yeah.
scratching it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
so-
fair.
Yeah.
And nice of them, I guess.
That's courteous.
imagine they're
Yeah,
like, no,
like-
carry on, you have to wrestle.
I don't know, I feel
you
like-
can't walk? Well, you have to complete the match.
It seems like sometimes that you could lose your job if you don't keep going.
Yeah, no, with TV wrestling, it's so more like, because the company doesn't want to look like shit.
What
Like,
about the thumbtacks? Does that create just a bloody mess?
no, not, dude, thumbtacks are actually like,
Yeah, they're pretty chill.
Yeah, like,
I
I feel
just
like,
had one shoved in my ass the other day. They're not that chill. These guys are like,
Is it because but I want to know. Is it because they don't go deep?
Well, they can go deep for sure, but like, I guess you just kind of go with it. I don't know. Like, I didn't find
I just
it
picture
too hard.
it bleeding out like pellet, like a
Oh,
pellet
no.
gun. Just,
They don't bleed bad.
No.
But it's still the initial poke of like something stabbing you.
yeah, I can imagine.
It's like kind of lame. And if it's like a bunch
kind
of
of
them,
lame.
a bunch
Is that
of
how
them.
you surmise it? Kind of lame.
Pretty chill, pretty lame.
What about you guys? Like, did you guys ever have to, like, extracurricular stuff get really injured on outside of just skateboarding? Like,
I had knee surgery from overshooting a snowboard jump. Yes, that was. I felt my knee pop when I landed. I was so angry.
Yeah, I've been to hospital tons of times for moto and fighting and
Well, like your worst
snowboarding.
injuries ever.
Moto was probably one of the worst ones. I did the same thing twice. I tried to jump this jump and came up short and hit the face wall of the next jump and broke both my elbows and lacerated kidneys and some other thing. And then
Yeah.
3 months later, I went back there, healed, and jumped it again and did the exact same thing and broke both my elbows, separated my shoulder, and got lacerated lungs or something.
What was your reaction to doing it the second
And that's
time
when I had
around
the
again?
double casting.
Oh.
That's when I didn't have a skateboard contract either, but that's when I did have a team manager that was like, what do you mean you broke both your elbows again? And I was like, yeah, well, I was trying to jump this jump that I couldn't make. And he's like, don't you think that you should be a little more focused on skateboarding? And I remember looking at the phone like, what an idiot. Like, no. You know what I mean? I was trying to make the jump. I feel like I already explained that part. But I did realize after that it was probably time to slow that part down.
That is pretty much why I never rode motorcycles, because I knew that it wasn't a matter of if that was going to happen, is when something like that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't going to chill. I wanted to, if I was going to do
fly.
it, I wanted to do all the stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And no one gets out like just
No.
you can't knee slide out.
No.
That's the greatest thing about moto is it, in skateboarding it's on vert, like it takes years to have a pump to go high. On a dirt bike, you just have to know how to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
well, that's
And that gets a hold of your ego, and the next thing you know, you're in the air and you're like, I totally regret.
Yeah. Why did I do this?
The last 3 seconds of what I decided to do, I really regret.
Yeah.
Because there's no coming back. Once you're up in the air, that's it.
I built all these like dirt jumps at my house.
You ride dirt bikes too?
Yeah, 4-wheelers. I got a Can-Am because I went to Pastrana's house and he took me off all these big jumps with the Can-Am, and I was like, I need a Can-Am
Yeah, I used
now.
to race those fuckers. They're awesome.
They're insane. And then I was like, man, it's kind of like I talked to Pastrana about it. I'm like, do you ever skate? And he's like, oh, no way. Like,
No,
because like
you can't skate or snowboard at all.
yeah. And then so like I see like where with the like machines and stuff like that, like I hit him up. I was like, yo, I want to try this stunt over my house where like I built this big dirt jump in front of my house, and it's like a 96-foot jump, and I land on a mobile home trailer, so I'll air over my house in like a Jeep. And then like I hit him up to like help like facilitate it and like build it and stuff, and he's supposed to come out, but a week before I did the jump, that's when he did the skydiving or something out in Miami right before for the Hoonigan thing where he like landed on the ground and broke
got
his
real hurt.
back and stuff. Yeah. So I remember I was gonna do it like that day, like that week, and then I was like, yo, since you're not here, like any like advice before I jump? And he's like, just sit on bubble wrap. And then I did the jump and like 96 foot over my house into like these mobile home trailers. And then Tony Khan, who runs AEW, he was on FaceTime watching me because he's just like, oh, shit, man, this fucking guy's going to.
And he wanted to see it happen live.
Yeah, but he was
like, if he knows.
he had to like, it was like the same day as the Super Bowl. So he had to like be there because, he owns the Jags and stuff. And then like he had to be there, but he's like, I want to make sure Darby survives. So he's like, it's funny because Sting is like FaceTiming him, like the jump, but Sting doesn't know how to use the FaceTime. So he's not filming the jump. He's filming himself. He's just like, that's so great.
No offense, but I think I'd rather watch that anyway. His face watch you jump.
Tony's like, is he alive? Is he alive? And then like I jump out of the Jeep and I'm like, I can make it Wednesday because that's when we film. I was like, I'll be there Wednesday. And he's like, oh, it's cool. I think.
So did you jump it?
Yeah.
And
Wait, so Travis Pastrana's sage advice to you was bubble wrap.
Yeah,
because that's really like if you land and you overshoot it,
well, he said,
people break their backs.
yeah, he's like, there's a really good chance you're gonna break your back. And then I told Tony Khan that. He's like, can we just have you have like a stunt double or something? I'm like, I couldn't live with myself.
Stunt double?
Yeah, I was like, I couldn't live with myself if that was the
How's
case.
that work?
Yeah, that's
They'll just break their backs. It's fine.
Yeah, but yeah, I like Tony's really cool with allowing me to do all the extra stuff because I think
I get because if you don't break your back, then it's good publicity for the belt.
Well, yeah, I think he sees that like the risk reward factor,
Yeah.
and you know,
Hey, it's not his back.
but I'm like this is the stuff I like. I remember like 2011, I sent you that it was on your Click to Kill, the ride channel when I dropped on that lightning bolt. I don't know if you've ever seen that clip.
Drop down a lightning bolt?
It's like a lightning bolt sculpture in front of the Space Needle. It's like this huge. I'll pull it up in a second.
Are you a bomb drop guy?
No.
Last time he was here, that was right after I dislocated my fingers. We have that A-frame ladder that I used to do the pivot on my video part. He put that up on the pyramid and he tail dropped and grinded down the side of the ladder.
I did see that.
Yeah, like
that was super gnarly.
Yeah.
I remember that day because we got here and then when you sent me a message, like you sent me like the X-ray or something.
It was the
of
day
hospital.
before I dislocated my fingers.
You're like, I'm not gonna be able to make it, but so and so will let you in and you can skate.
Yeah.
And then I was doing it, and she like sent a picture to you or something of me just like, and then you're like, I guess I gotta come check this out.
Oh yeah, well yeah, Galena was here, and then he was trying that.
This is what I did back in 2011. That was.
We're gonna need that for the video segment here.
Oh, you idiot.
Let me see that one.
Oh my God.
Oh yes, I do remember that.
So you have a natural ability of like, it landing on the ground, not feeling
You didn't
so
break
bad,
anything
huh?
doing that?
No, surprisingly not.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was crazy because
It is surprising.
That looks like
I
a
was gonna
pelvis
Yeah,
cracker
right?
for
Yeah,
sure.
we were just in Seattle. I won the championship like 2 weeks ago at the Seattle show. And I remember like walking by it because it's right in front of the space. And I was like, dude, I still feel like I can do it. And I'm like looking at it and I'm like, God, I got to do it. And like, I still feel like I need to do it. Like, I don't know. Like, it's
You
crazy.
mean roll away?
Yeah, not do the coffin
That's a
drop on the
heavy
concrete.
acid drop at any speed.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing though, is like I did that back in 2011 and I was like kept thinking, man, who else is gonna try it? And then I remember like Jaws tried it and that's when he tore his ACL or something. It was gnarly. Like he sent me the video of him trying it and then he like rode off and I think he was gonna go for like an early grab off it, but then as he was riding off, he kind of kicked out and just landed on the concrete standing, and that's
Oh my gosh.
it was. Yeah, I was like gnarly. Like I was like, man, that's crazy because
You guys are gross.
I want to see someone do it.
I was going to
so
say, has
bad.
anyone ever successfully done that?
No, I think me and Jaws are the only two to
Oh,
try
wow.
it. Yeah, so
Well, good luck with that.
That's a pretty big elite club to be in.
Yeah,
Just
right.
me and Jaws
Yeah.
tried it.
I keep thinking like
I don't know anyone can say that kind of thing except for
keep
Ali
thinking-
Bilala.
Yeah, keep thinking like Milton or something will like do it. Like I don't know, like these guys that
That do those heavy drops.
yeah, like I keep like I'm like, dude, someone's just gonna do it. But if someone ever had like a planned date to do it, I'd love to like fly out there and watch it because I want to see it happen so bad. I remember I flew Dalton Dern up there. And
Yeah.
I flew him up there. I'm like, hey,
He rips.
yeah. I was like, I'm gonna fly you out
Oh,
here.
like as a backup plan?
well, no,
If I don't make it, you gotta do
Yeah,
it?
you
No.
get it.
Well, no,
yeah.
this was
sounds fun.
this was last year. I flew him out here, and
Oh, okay.
I was like, just look at it. I'll fly you out just to look at it. And he's like, all right. And then he gets up there. He's like, no way. Like I'm like, all right. Like, but it's I don't know, man.
I'm gonna need you to airdrop that to me so we can put it in the podcast.
It's a pretty fun one.
So is there any how do you guys come up with new moves?
Everything in wrestling's pretty much been invented. So it's more of a case of just finding something
Grab
unique.
from the list.
Yeah, something unique to add into your moveset that isn't the same as everybody else.
Yeah, I got a ring downstairs in my basement. So like there'll be like times I'll just be like trying to think of shit, you know. But
You have a boxing ring in your basement and a rolling in your kitchen?
out of the kitchen window, yeah.
Out of the kitchen.
Yeah, if you guys are ever in Atlanta, you got to come check out the compound.
Skate your house.
Yeah, we got a bunch of like there's like 14 acres, just dirt jumps and all this stuff.
Oh, wrestle. I got suplexes and shit.
Take a couple bumps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to wrestling school.
Did you?
Yeah, for a day.
What did you think of it?
Well,
Well, not much. If
You're a
you
little
went for a
dismissive,
day.
Jason,
Yeah.
the way you're saying it.
Well,
yeah, I
that-
did that. That
well,
I'm a
that's
wrestler.
just easy. That's no big
it's
deal.
not
That's
easy.
basic.
It's just they didn't realize who they were dealing with. And they were trying to be like, yeah, in 6 months from now, we'll teach you how to do a suplex. And I'm like,
I
you
wanna
got
do
the
it
wrong
now.
guy. Like, I'm ready to do it right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you have to do? And he was like, well, you got to, land on the back of your neck. Like, you got to half flip first. And I was like this? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, okay, so then what? And then I convinced him to let me. I was like, just show me a couple, like how to take a bump, how to land correctly. And it's the same thing as jiu-jitsu, like when you
Break
Yes.
falls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
break
smack
fall.
it.
So I knew how to do it. And then suplex wise, I'm like, all right, don't land on the back of your heels. Don't land on the top of your head. It's pretty, if you do, you'll be sore. So
You ever watch like Mike V?
I had a couple matches.
Mike V's wrestling matches? Yeah.
After I did that, then I watched everybody because all of a sudden I was like, oh, other people that aren't wrestlers have done this. And I could tell. If you did it every weekend, you'd be trashed. Because you don't, the best one is one that looks like it hurts. So you kind of make it hurt on purpose.
People ask me all the time, what's harder, skateboarding or wrestling? Like on your body and everything. And I'm like, by far skateboarding. It's insane like how with skateboarding every week I was getting like broken ankles and stuff. Like when I dropped in on that lightning bolt sculpture, I did that with 2 fractured ankles and I duct taped them up before I did it. Because I remember I set a date because there's this big skate contest in Seattle called the All City Showdown. And I remember I was just like, all right, I'll do it that day. And then that day rolled around and my ankles weren't any better and I just duct taped them up. So
duct tape can do a lot.
How many events can you guys do in a row, like per week?
our schedule is actually really
Very
nice
light.
right now. In AEW,
What's
we only film once a week.
Yeah.
Once a week, okay.
So we do like Dark Elevation, Dynamite, and Rampage in one whole taping. So that's 3 shows essentially in one day.
3 matches.
No, you will wrestle once or not at all, I guess. Like it just depends if you're booked to wrestle.
Yeah, like we got a show. It's in Fresno. Yeah, it's Fresno on Wednesday, and I'm wrestling for I'm defending this. Are you doing?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
But it goes like that. There would
I
be
wrestled last week.
There'll be-
so-
When will they tell you?
Yeah.
Maybe on the
have to
day?
be
On
there.
the day?
You have to be there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes on the day you'll
Oh,
you have
okay.
a match.
and then
you have to-
sometimes you'll know a week in advance.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
depends. And then obviously when the
Even for a
pay-per-views-
title shot.
Yeah. I mean, the first title defense I had, I found out on the day that I was doing it, and it was also the main event of the show.
Wow.
So you're like, oh, pressure.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it's
So was somebody just writing scripts on the day? Like
sometimes.
this
Yeah.
is a good matchup.
Yeah.
Guess what? You're fighting for the belt
Yeah,
today.
sometimes it's like that. Like it's like fun when you're just like, dude, we got live TV tomorrow because it's like on TBS like every week and stuff like that. And sometimes you don't even know what you're doing, and then all of a sudden they're like, yo, by the way, you have.
Yeah.
Do you worry about them writing you out of not having the belt in an hour before you start?
I mean, if it happens, then it happens. You
That's
can't
the
do
game.
anything about it. Yeah, it's just kind of like, okay, cool.
Has that happened?
In AEW, I don't know.
No.
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
That would be
Like,
crazy.
yeah, that would be
Still have the
crazy.
belts right here,
Yeah,
so
oh
apparently
God,
not.
don't give
Like
anyone
you go
any
there on
ideas.
the weekend, they go, hey, so you're fighting,
But you're gonna lose
you're
it.
going to lose.
Yeah,
You know what? If
I don't
it's
know
a
if
title
that's-
match, I
I don't
think
know.
they
Give you a heads up.
I don't know. I hope not.
they kind of just tell you like, hey, you're going to drop the belt to this
Yeah.
person. Okay.
That'd be
They
kind of.
can't do that.
Yeah, they do. They can. Yeah, absolutely.
Heavy.
It just depends on the show and like ideas.
Is
all
that
kind of-
pressure for you guys when you're like performing, thinking if I don't do really good, they might write me out next weekend?
I don't.
Or did I just put that terrible
No.
thought in your head?
Oh,
No, 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 no.
God, I'm not going to have a job.
They've never thought of that.
Thank you very much for planting that seed.
Every week I'm there, I feel like in my mind it's like I act like it's like my first day on the job and I have to go insane and ballistic and do
Yeah.
something gnarly. And I don't know, I feel like that's what like helps because there's a lot of people I feel like after a while they start phoning it in because but I was like I can't, it's not in my DNA. There's no way in hell I could do it. And it's just like, all right, here I go, jump off the top rope through a chair like
Yeah.
every single week. And then it's crazy because everybody like always will see me do something gnarly. Like one time I jumped off this like 15-foot ladder through like landing only on chairs. and like a big front flip onto it, and people are like, yeah, this guy, man, he's not gonna be able to walk tomorrow. And then I purposely will just post me like skating my backyard ramp the next day, and they're like, what is wrong with this guy? I'm like, but it's fun. I don't know, like
the pressure's good. It's always because we're professionals and we get paid to do it. We always want to show out. So I think there's no. For me, I never want to phone it in. I can't. I always feel like I have something to prove. You know.
That's the thing with Sting.
Well, I mean, that's what it takes,
Yeah,
obviously,
absolutely.
and also to. You can't rest on your accolades, and I mean, we know that as skaters, and so when you're trying to just keep improving your skills, that's how you're going to stay relevant and on top, and it seems like you guys have done that in droves.
Yeah, like that's what like Sting, like he'll show up to the building and he just had his birthday. He's 64 now, but he'll show up to the building and look at the balconies and be like, all right, can I jump off this?
Oh my God.
And I'm like, dude, like what do you like? Because so much people are like, what do you have to prove? And I'm like, I don't even know at this rate what he's like what he's battling for, trying to prove. But it's cool to see the hunger because he has the mindset of a 20-year-old rookie.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
I met the Undertaker recently, and we did a shoot. We were both gonna be in this thing that's coming up, so I can't talk about it. But it was really cool, and I wasn't a demographic. I didn't follow wrestling that much, but I could tell when he showed up, there was this buzz that went through the whole shoot.
Yeah.
There was like Undertaker's here.
Yeah.
And Katie, who does makeup and stuff for me, she was like, well, can you introduce me to the Undertaker? Like, and I knew then, like, oh, there's something. So I took a photo with him, and it is probably my most liked photo of any social media ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the
He's a legend.
Me and the Undertaker, yeah.
That's the thing. It's crazy, like how wrestling, the whole like mix of the worlds, like because no one probably think they would ever see Tony Hawk and Undertaker in a photo.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
The unfortunate part
like,
of
oh,
it
okay.
for me was I was only like 2 weeks or 3 weeks out of surgery, so I have a cane, and so this photo is like has just gone on to, to all kinds of different networks and things like that, and so now there's this like I'm
When you're not skateboarding, you use a cane.
pretty
to walk?
much yeah. That's the narrative now. Like it's cemented in history as like, oh, Tony Hawk just uses a cane. I'm like, damn it! Like I should have just hid the cane for that photo.
But now you have to
More
take
impressive.
a cane with you everywhere now to live up to that reputation.
No, I want to show them that I don't need a cane to walk around. Damn it.
Look at this.
when you're
Break it.
when you're back skateboarding, you gotta like do a 540 while holding the cane.
I'm gonna have to get a redo with the Undertaker. Yeah.
Yeah. Or get someone to Photoshop it out.
But that's like you were saying with, that's not your demographic. That's like my whole goal in the world of pro wrestling is to connect to people that never gave pro wrestling a shot or like never cared. Because I feel like when they're flipping through the channels and they see this like guy with his face painted like a skeleton riding a skateboard, they're like, what the hell is this all about? And it's like my whole goal, because like I'm just like, man, I just want to get as much eyes on wrestling. And
Yeah.
I don't wrestle like a normal wrestler, so it kind of helps out.
Oh,
But
believe me, when you brought a skateboard into the ring, so anytime there's a skateboard in something other than skateboarding, everyone's tagging me and sending it to me.
oh yeah, trust me, I know. I saw it.
So when you did
Tony Hawk,
that, it
Tony
was
Hawk.
like, all right, here we go. And I just kept getting, it was super cool though, I think. And it's not that I didn't care about, don't take offense, I didn't care about anything
Yeah.
except skateboarding.
course.
Like when I was, especially was growing up and making a career out of it, I was just like you, tunnel vision, like, oh, it's just skateboarding, that's it. But I always appreciated your guys' physicality and the moves and the stunts. I mean, it's very much akin to skateboarding, except for our falls aren't premeditated.
Yeah. They just happen.
They just happen, yeah. Well, some are premeditated.
Yeah.
We're trying to learn something for sure.
Mine may as well be.
But thanks for coming, you guys. That was really
thank you for
that
having
was
us.
fascinating and stoked you. And I know this wasn't a convenience stop for you because you're like, yeah, can we come by? We're gonna be, and I didn't realize until today we're landing at LAX, but we're going to Fresno tomorrow. I'm like,
They were here in LA.
okay,
Charlie and Jamie. I had to fly out because I was going to do this thing, film some skit for the football game on Saturday for the Jags and Chargers. But then as I was flying in, like I was supposed to land super early, but some lady just lost her on the plane, and the cops
that
had to
seems to be
come.
happening a lot lately.
Yeah.
And
It's
I
very
was-
stressful.
Are you condoning it?
I'm trying to back her up because you're right. Everyone's losing it, but it's very stressful to be on planes these days.
Yes.
She refused to get
care.
off the plane. Like they had to like
Really?
kick her out. Yeah. And
But was she? So she was blocking people too.
Yeah, she was
What did she
standing.
do?
She was. I don't even know. I took a nap and I woke up. I'm like, this plane ain't moving. And I look, and then she's like standing where they closed the gate and
Yeah.
stuff like that, or like from the plane to the tunnel. And then she like was in the middle of it, like I ain't going nowhere. I paid my $500, and I was like, what the hell's going on? And then the cops had to come, and I was just like, God, I'm gonna be late to Tony's interview.
Somebody should suplex her. That would be funny.
That
Yeah.
would be funny.
But
If we didn't
Well,
get
I
sued.
do want to. I want to thank you for being late because it gave me a chance to actually stand on my skateboard for the first time since my surgery.
Yes.
And I took a push, and something has changed, and I'm very excited. So they gave me,
That was good news.
there was no pain in the push for
Hey,
the
you
first
slapped
time
me
ever.
and that hurt. Are you gonna do something for me where you get hurt and I get to laugh at you?
Yeah, okay, deal.
You gonna skate?
yeah,
Let's do it.
you gotta teach.
You gotta teach me. I'm
Rusty.
shit. Yeah, we're shit and rusty, so.
She wants to
I
drop.
doubt your
This'll-
shit, but
This will
drop it on
motivate
the-
me to get better for sure.
You dropped in on a
All right.
6-foot ramp, you said.
When I was 12.
Right. That can go.
I'm 27 now.
Yep. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, I
All
think
right,
it'd be cool.
that's going to be on our Patreon. You guys skating, so check that out. Thanks, you guys, for making the time,
Thank
for
you,
coming down
appreciate
here,
it.
for showing us your belts, and that was exciting.
Yeah.
That was
May you
awesome.
continue to reign.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yes.
let's keep these going. I know. I mean, maybe it is up to you. I don't know.
I don't know. I just go with the flow.
Yeah,
I
Sit
don't-
on
me
those
too.
tax, champ.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
All right, see you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Like and describe.
Do you have any last wrestling words? What are your motivational words to people?
You can do anything if you put your mind to it.
what she said.
Make sure you have bubble wrap in your pants.
Yes, that's a good one, actually.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, see ya.